there's some pretty steamy scenes in there. Some bits I was watching, like, cool, but wild. I thought that was something that went out in the 90s. Terrible. I would not recommend it. I didn't grow up in the digital dating world. I know I would mess everything up and people would think she's the worst. On that note, you're like, get out of here. Hi, I'm Dannii. I'm here with Cosmo and we are getting up close.
Hi, I'm Grace Henry, the Acting, Entertainment and Lifestyle Director. I Kissed the Boy is back for a second season. What can you tell us about it?
The new cast really changes it up. Like each season, depending on who's on the show, really changes and shapes the whole dynamic. And because people get used to a format, they're like, oh, we know what's coming. So I had to change up what I was doing so that they never knew what to expect.
What did you change then?
When we were timing the challenges and when we were doing the kiss off, which is the sort of nerve-wracking moment, who's going to be leaving the show. So I would come in with kooky challenges to just get everyone talking, and there's always a big development with the boys after that happens. And I have like a screen in my room, so I can see what they're up to before I go in and when I come out. And it's so funny when I come out and I'm just watching them. It's like, you know, you just want to grab the popcorn and, you know, I guess it's like the original Big Brother when you're just like tuning into what is happening live.
What was the cast like? So what can you tell us about the new boys this year?
They're diverse. I mean, it's just they're from all over the country and everybody brings their own like unique story. Some are funny, some are really outgoing, some are really shy. But I guess what you notice most in a dating show is ones that move fast and ones that are like, I need time.
Take my time.
And everything happens within the space of 3 weeks. So it's pretty fast paced. But because they don't have their phones with them, every day, apparently, I've always got my phone with me, every day apparently feels like a week because
you don't know the time.
You don't even know what time it is. You just wake up and then you go to sleep again. And so those 3 weeks can feel like a whole summer.
Was anyone a really big flirt like when they came in?
I think I would say half the boys are really confident and really, you know, loving how they're feeling about what they're wearing and presenting themselves. Like imagine packing to go away on this. You're like, oh, I'm going to wear this, I'm going to wear that. Because, you know, they see each other and then they kiss. That's the first thing that happens. I think a lot of what you take in about somebody is like, what are they wearing? Like just you're looking at them from top to toe that very first second because you're like, oh, I'm going to kiss this person. So, I would say half of them are very
confident.
Is
there anyone that you were really rooting for this season? Like someone that you took a liking to? I know you shouldn't have favourites, but did you?
Well, because I'm watching everything live as well, it's like you can see if somebody hasn't found their match. And we want everyone to find their match. But the interesting thing about this show is that people do leave it and they've learned a lot about themselves and they've made these new friends. So some people might come from a town where there's no gay bar or no place to go hang out and really meet so many diverse people. So it's a real game changer for them.
Did anyone give serious boyfriend energy from the get-go?
Yeah, I think a lot of them are really ready to get serious, which surprises me with their age, you know. They're still quite young, but they're ready to find that somebody to you know, to be with. I guess I didn't grow up in the digital dating world, so I don't know what challenges that has. But a lot of people say it's quite tiring and it's very frustrating. So I think, you know, if you're ready to find that person, you're also ready to be done with all of it.
You said that you tried to change things this season. Are there any big format changes or twists that we can expect to see?
Not a format change, but just I guess the timings of everything, because I imagine they watch the previous seasons and they're like,
come in with
right,
it with like
okay, day two, she comes in and does this, but it wasn't like that. We switched it up.
Is there a particular moment that stands out to you that you're really looking forward to like fans seeing this year?
The kissing booth challenge was really interesting. So they were able to take somebody into the kissing booth without anybody else knowing. So they didn't have to.
Oh,
cool, but wild. Like, if you have decided that you are really into somebody, it was interesting, like who they took in there, and they didn't actually have to kiss when they got in there. So they might have just done nothing in there, but kissing booth was really cool.
And do the others get to find out afterwards?
It's up to them if they tell afterwards. And one couple were keeping it quiet, and that really disrupted everything.
And what is it like knowing all this information and like you're sitting there with like all the cards basically? And I think it's such a good way to learn about them. And, you know, like some people are more private and some people are real oversharers. And as I said, confident, not confident, fast, slower moving. It really gives the viewer a chance to get to know them, but for them to know each other. But it's always the most difficult for the couple that are really together from the get-go to then go through the challenges. So we had one of those couples this year that instantly they were kind of drawn to each other.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's, you know, so must be the most amazing feeling.
Yeah,
you've
to
been
find
like
your
on that dating game and you're like, oh, this has just been handed to me. So it's nice.
What was it like for you getting to see that and getting to be that person that kind of put them together in a way?
I love connecting people. So whether it's friends or whether it's like, you know, people that I've met in business and I'm like, oh, you've got to meet this person. I love doing that sort of matchmaking. And we set out to have success from the show, and not a lot of reality or dating shows are doing that. But that's what we genuinely want. And we want like it to be a great experience for them.
Get some wedding invites at the end, maybe.
I know. I'm like, okay, here we go with the wedding. That would be good.
Were there any iconic lines this season? Something that you think should make it onto some merch or is going to be like a meme-worthy moment?
I think Jack S will probably be the one that's got the most iconic lines, and Adam maybe as well.
And this year you have your first trans contestant. Given the new Supreme Court ruling, how important do you think I Kissed a Boy is with helping the trans community and providing visibility around the trans community?
I mean, I don't want to get into politics, but we've always been a really inclusive show. And what I say to the boys at the start of, and the girls at the start of each series, on and off camera, is be who you want to be and love who you want to love. And it's just all about amplifying love, and for the community as a whole to be seen on TV and not depicted through like a character in a drama, and just to be celebrated. I think that's the most amazing thing about our show, is that we are just here to celebrate people and make them feel really super comfortable. And I think that you get the best out of people when you celebrate them.
Let them be themselves. Back to this season, what would you say is the biggest Delulu moment or like scandalous moment so far, and how does it get resolved?
I don't think scandalous, but there's some pretty steamy scenes in there. Some bits I was watching like this. Without giving away who it is, it gets very steamy in a way that the last two series haven't. And that must take some guts. Like, just kissing someone else on camera would be wild. But like, you know, I guess as you really fancy someone and, you know, there is an awareness that there are cameras around. It's wild.
What advice did you give to them then in regards to like kissing on camera and being comfortable on camera? Did you tell them to like ignore the cameras or? Yeah.
I don't get involved in that. I don't. I'm not around them that much.
Okay.
On the location, I sort of come in, set the scene for a challenge, and then I'm off because I want them to be in their moment, in their space, without breaking that too much.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of all like this when I walk in, and not really themselves. So then when I go back to my room and I'm watching them on camera, then I see them like totally relaxed and. The bits that I miss when I'm leaving set and I don't have that camera there, it's interesting when I see the full edit and I'm like, oh, okay, is that what happened? Yeah, but they're great guys. It's an incredible series, and I've said to my friends, it's very different from season 1 because I think those boys were really brave and they didn't know what to expect. They didn't know what the show was, and I think. Being the 3rd season, it's kind of like, okay, we kind of get what it's about and how far they push the envelope, and I think everyone's a little bit more relaxed
warmed
now.
up.
Yeah.
Were there any emotional moments? Anything that sticks with you now?
For me, the most emotional moment is the last day that we film, where we're seeing if the boys are going to stay with each other and how they're projecting their future, once they're outside of this kind of beautiful Italian masseria. That's the most emotional because I don't know what they're going to say.
Yeah.
And their family are there. And I think you know so much about somebody when you see their family and friends with them because they've only just met each other and they haven't been able to bounce off their friends at all, which would be really interesting in a dating scene because you normally like call your friends straight away
and fill them in on the date and everything, get their advice.
Get their advice. So they've had none of that. It's just all up to them, and then the family are actually there, so it just heightens everything because they're looking at their parents or their best friends, and they're looking back at each other, and they don't know what each other are going to say.
What initially drew you to I Kissed a Boy and I Kissed a Girl?
I just felt like it was really important. There's so many dating shows, but there wasn't one like this.
Yeah.
And I kind of, I was really perplexed as to why it hadn't happened before. And I guess, just wanted to be a part of putting something on TV that was done in a really good, genuine way, and that there was attention to detail with the production, that all the cast were looked after, and the main goal is that if anyone leaves, well, for everyone who leaves the show, if someone came up to them in the street, because they now become famous, and they said, I was thinking of going on the show, like, what was it like? Do you think I should do it? We would genuinely want their answer to be, yes, 100%. It was amazing. So that's also the goal, to get these relationships to work, but for it to be that good.
Have you kept in touch with any of the contestants from the previous years?
Yeah, there's a lot of DMs and kind of once I go back to Australia, so I'm watching a lot of stuff on social media, and I think there's a lot of excitement when they get asked to go to lots of parties, prides, and I mean, last year the girls on stage at Mighty Hoopla, Amy and Fiorenza, were crowd surfing. I was like, I thought that was something that went out in the 90s. I don't think I've seen that for a hot minute. Yeah, they were crowd surfing. It was wild. So hopefully they all go back again this year to Mighty Hoopla. Seems to be the place where they're meeting up and marching in pride, getting involved with Terence Higgins Trust, Switchboard, really connecting with a lot of different charities, as well as the celebrity kind of party stuff. But I think they find a lot of support through seeing each other. Like the different season casts have met up at these events. Yeah.
It's like growing kind of like a family, like a community, really. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I cannot wait to see them again. I haven't seen them since Italy.
And back to season 1, were you as sad as us to see that Ollie and Dan had broken up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, we were just following the whole time, and you know, with age as well, it's like, okay, it's going to be pretty amazing if it lasts a long time. But I definitely thought they were going to. Yeah. Yeah. Were you sad?
Young. Yeah. No, who knows? Maybe.
And did you have a favourite from the girls?
I didn't watch the girls' season, unfortunately. I will go back and watch it, though. I am
Homework.
a massive reality TV fan, so I binge watch everything.
It's
so
amazing.
I like it to pile up. So even with this season, I'll let it just I'll watch it all in one go.
Okay. Yeah.
Watch like an episode. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's a lot.
But I will go back. Who are your favourite girls?
Well, we've had, some success with the girls. And I remember Abby and Leisha were voted off by what was the strongest couple on the show.
Okay.
And they got to vote off who they thought was the couple that were going to have the least amount of success. And they are still together.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah. So
yeah,
it's like we never know what's going to,
it's usually those ones who
the
surprise you, though. The people that like leave and everyone thinks, oh, they're not going to stay together, and then they get married.
Yeah, and that's what it's like, with people that are like quicker to get in there and the ones that are maybe holding off a bit. Maybe that comes across as they're not into it, but they're just taking their time and maybe a bit more shy or not really sharing with the rest of the group what they're having between the two of them.
Yeah, okay, I have to watch it.
You have to.
So we've spoken about like dating with the digital apps and dating in the modern world. If you were to go on a show like this in your 20s, how would you cope with the kiss-offs and all of these challenges?
I wouldn't be able to. Like, I know I probably might seem confident and because I'm like on camera a lot, but with some acting, I've had to do kissing on filmed, and it's terrible. I would not recommend it. It's not for me. I wouldn't cope. No. Reality TV, I'm much more comfortable behind a desk or just, being a part of it.
Would you do any other kind of reality TV? Maybe not a dating show, but like creators, something that's a little bit more you rather than...
I haven't really thought about it because I love spending my time at home. I've got a teenage son, so I'm just sort of focused on, okay, let's just do this show, and then I go home and try not to work so much so that I do really boring things like I become the driver to get to basketball and stuff like that. So, yeah, I haven't really thought about it, but if there was one, I do love cooking, but I completely lose it when I have to cook under pressure.
Yeah.
And so cooking in a competition or on camera, I know I would mess everything up and people would think she's the worst cook. I really am very good, but yeah, not under pressure, which would be funny.
What's your best dish then? What would you make?
My favourite is making a seared tuna on the barbecue outside, the really nice salad.
Yeah.
That's my favourite.
I love a good salad, actually, yeah. What advice would you give to future contestants then?
Just be open. Just be open to really having a relationship. Trust that we have listened to what you're saying, like, because everybody comes in with like a list of, I'm looking for this kind of person and this is, really what I want. So, to have that trust in us that we really, really want it for you as well, and just relax, have fun, because it goes really fast for them. Like by the time we get to the end, they're like, no, we actually have to go home now.
Is it hard getting them to like leave? Like, guys, you've got to live your life now. And
nobody wants to leave. Like that plane ride home must just be, hard.
Yeah, it's like a summer of a lifetime, really. Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone loves your style in general and also on the show. Do you have any favourite looks from this season?
I do like run around in jeans a lot, but it is nice to just get dressed up in the wildest like couture, and I have all these things specially made for me for the show, and so most of the dresses have 4 fittings to get it ready.
Oh wow, yeah.
I arrived in Italy, I think we had 7 suitcases of dresses. Some of them they're huge in volume and stuff, so it's good to just kind of step into that cupid role and really feel like I'm getting dressed up for a ball every single day. And then I go home to just being me, my jeans, running around to basketball. Yeah.
Speaking of playing Cupid, who do you prefer playing Cupid for, the girls or the boys?
Both. They're very, very different in how fast they move. I felt like the girls moved a lot faster than the boys.
Okay.
Yeah. And I learned so much from the girls, a lot with language as well.
Okay.
So there's obviously the age gap between me and all of the cast members. So there's kind of this language divide, but then there's also just when the guys were watching the girls series, they're like, that's really taught us a lot. And yeah, it was interesting to me because if all of the sort of prides and Mardi Gras that I've been to, you see everyone there.
Yeah.
There's a big difference. But you have to watch the girls.
No, I'm going to. This evening, in fact. You spoke about language.
Yes.
What terms did you learn? Is there anything that you're using now that you picked up from the girls or the guys?
I don't think anything that I've picked up. Otherwise, I'm just going to come across like that sad old lady that's, trying to get, to be part of the gang. I'm trying to think of what the girls were saying that they were all saying. But the thing that I do love is that when this series has been shown in America and Australia, and all of the Americans were like, what does a bit of me mean? The girls were saying that a lot. Oh, that's a bit of me. And I was trying to explain, I was doing all these American interviews, and I was saying actually all the girls were saying that.
Yeah.
The boys, they didn't all have something that they were saying, but the girls, yes.
Yeah, I was talking to one of my friends, and she's from Canada, and I said, oh, that's a bit of me. And she was like, why do you
What is that?
Yeah.
And how did you explain it?
I broke it down to her and was just like, it means that's what I like, basically.
Yes.
Exactly me.
Yeah, but that's what I like about watching reality from all sorts of different countries, is that you pick up these little things that maybe wouldn't necessarily be in a drama or a movie.
And you spoke about it being shown in America and Australia.
Yeah.
Do you have plans for the show to go international? Because I feel like people would love to go on these shows all over.
Yeah, it is starting in a few different countries, but I was really hoping that Australia would have made one by now. It hasn't happened yet, but they're such different stories. In Australia, there's a lot of farmers. So there's a reality dating show called Farmer Wants a Wife, where they're trying to match up these farmers with a wife. I know, it sounds wild, right? But there are, people that live more out in the country that wouldn't have, as I said, a gay bar or a club or anywhere to go. They don't meet anyone.
Yeah.
And so I think there would be these incredible stories of, if you took someone from Sydney, who's just exposed to that all the time, and Mardi Gras and World Pride, and you've got someone there from the country, the stories would be so dramatically different. And I think that, we really need this representation on TV, because there's, I know a lot of people out there that are, get bullied all the time, and it would change the landscape a bit.
I'm not just saying this because you're here, but I do feel like Australian reality TV is just different to
What are you into?
Maths.
I
love maths.
Everyone loves maths. It's so funny when I come here, everyone's like, do you know anything about maths? And I'm like, I don't even watch it.
And Australia's so big. What do they think you're just right in the middle of it?
I know, but some of my friends have worked on it, and they cannot go to a dinner party because that's all anybody wants to talk about is maths. So they have to go and say, yeah, I'm not really really working on much at the moment. Yeah. Have you had a favourite character?
Oh, Jamie this season.
Yeah.
So season 12, she's my favourite. I actually wrote a whole
love
piece
that.
on
You're
her.
right. Oh, good.
No, I love it so much. It's so
Have
good.
you got to interview any of them?
Not yet, because this season finishes in like a couple of days. So I think we have to wait for them to finish all of that and then...
Let's set it up. Let's make this happen. Yes. Yeah, because I think some of them come here after the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, they tour around.
No, I'd love that.
I wouldn't recognise any of them because I literally don't watch it, but I'll see if I can help you.
Oh, thank you.
Sort that out. See, Cupid, matching people up.
Even in work.
I just love doing it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Another season of I Kissed a Girl is on the way.
Yes.
Have you started casting for this?
In a few weeks' time, casting will be open for the girls. So get in there. Get in there fast. Because there's an interview process. And, as I said, we really want success. So it's about getting the right mix of people.
How involved do you get with the casting?
There's initial casting and interviews, and I come in at the tail end of that, and I'll be speaking with the producers and the care team. Like we have a psychologist, and so that must be the most interesting job. Like I love going into their room on set and always speaking to them about like how they work out how to match everyone up, because people have a checklist of I want this and this and this, but then the person they fall for might be none of that. By the time they've fallen for someone, they've forgotten what was on the list. But these people specialise in really being able to kind of get to know someone quickly and try and help them out in this certain love.
Would you like to see anything being done differently on the next season of I Kissed a Girl, or anything you'd like to add to it?
I think we've just got to keep just like not changing the format like we were talking about before, but just keep tweaking things so that you don't know what's coming. Like I want to have people like watching on the edge of their seats and go, oh! So yeah, there's a few surprises.
Just mix it up a little bit. Yeah. And you've hosted the first gay dating show. What's the next first that you want to achieve?
Next first. Look, if I could grow taller, that would be my ultimate goal here. I can't even touch the floor on this chair, but I don't know.
Oh, well, thank you anyway.
On that note, you're like, get out of here.
No, you've been great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for watching, and subscribe for more.